Hey everyone, it's Mac here. Right, we're going to be doing Blaze of Eventide by Alek, the guy that did Convenient Horses, and he's done a rather nice mod. Now, you probably, like me, had lots of horses while you've been playing the game. Maybe you've got convenient horses, so your followers are mounted up, you've got some armour on that horse, and it's all nice, and you know, it's a really good mod that, but you know, sometimes you just need to be Ubol. And there are a lot of mount mods out there. Some are very funny, some are very serious, but this one that's not so far from Whiterun, Drellis's Cottage, which is kind of south of Morthal, yeah, that's where you need to go to get this mount. Okay, basically, so you can either take a carriage there, or it's not that much of a long ride if you've already got a horse, a couple of enemies in the way, nothing too bad. And when you get there, you arrive here at Drellis's Cottage. There are occasionally some mobs around that you might need to kill, but it's a very simple process. You go inside, hello Drellis, nice cottage, bye. Yeah, so yeah, there's some storage and some bits and bobs in here and like an enchanting table, but you know, it's mostly for show. You could use it as a kind of temporary home, I suppose, if you wanted to. You know, alchemy table, maybe a couple of books to read. If you're wondering, this is books glowing, a books glowing mod, so anything that I haven't read in the game will glow, just because, you know, I don't really want to read every single book. But this one on the bottom shelf is the most important one, Blaze of Eventide. Now when you read that, obviously it gives you some basic background about the horse, but when you finish reading it, and I've just taken it there, it says I've had some powers added, so we'll go and have a look and see what they are. And here they are at the very top. Blaze Deployment. Now this is, I'll cover this later on, but we'll come to that. And Blaze Summoning, and obviously Blaze Summoning is the one you want to use when you want to get on a horse. It's bound to your shout button. You don't have to like have it in one of your main hands. You can use it as your shout button, and when you use it for the first time, you get this configuration menu pop up. It doesn't come up every time you summon it, and you can define things like whether it's essential, whether it should stay in the same location, whether at night he should glow, various things like that, and you can switch all of that on or off depending on what you want. And this is the actual summoning now, so as you can see, I am summoning with my fingers of Ubinus, and there it is. Now you'll notice, because I've got the leather armor on in Convenient Horses, it's immediately put it on there. Now all of the armors in Convenient Horses, if you use that, because Alek is the same guy that did it, they all work with Blaze. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like without any armor on it, if you're just wanting to get this standalone mod, this is what it looks like by default. Some lovely flames coming off of it, and I think you can agree with me that it looks awesome. Really lovely work. And notice the kind of flame footprints, hoof prints coming off the back as I'm riding. It's beautifully done. There's no kind of weirdness when you go and mount the thing. You know, some mounts that you get in mods, when you mount, you kind of start off to the side and it's all a bit weird and they move a bit odd. But for me, this is a mod that seems to have got almost everything right. I've been playing with it for the last couple of nights, and it's just awesome. Really cool. Now another thing that obviously it comes into its own is at night, so I just do my little summon, and the glowing part that I was mentioning earlier on, well, this is the default settings that it's on. As you can see, it's a pretty decent night, but not excessive. There's not too much glare. There's, you know, you can see where you're going and what's what. It's not too far away as well, and it's just really well done. He's done a fantastic job with this. There's no doubt about it. Alek is doing some really awesome mods, and if you don't know his mods too well, maybe you're only aware of this one and the Convenient Horses, and you should check out what he does. It's good stuff. Now, you will have noticed just then that the horse ran away, but we'll cover that in a moment. Now, this is the other power, the blaze deployment. Unfortunately, this gigantic mammoth got in the way of the one I targeted, and I've targeted the mammoth over the back there, and Blaze is now chasing off to catch him up. He's got to him, and oh boy! Now there is a cooldown with this. You don't get to like use a horse bomb every like few minutes or anything, but it is a very cool thing, and it does a massive amount of damage, as you can see. But you know, as well as that, the kind of I believe the flames actually heal as well. So if you know, you can stand in the flames and things like that. And he is a pretty good horse to have, like for damage and for survivability, even if essentials off. Now let's see him do it again here. I'll just there we go, boom, nice. And the actual mob's been knocked down there, but if you look at the damage, it's not massively excessive that he initially took. Unfortunately, you know, he got pwned by me, but there you go. And there you go. Now those are the basic two powers, the summon and the deployment. Now he's got some default behavioural conditions, so you know, you can configure all of this, and you can handle it through the configuration menu I showed you earlier on, so you can decide whether he, you know, disappears altogether, whether he stays, whether he follows you. Convenient Horses obviously helps with some of the configuration of that, but you'll notice that for some parts, you know, I wanted to see what he did out of the box, and I'm getting attacked by a dog here, and his first instinct is, oh my god, dogs are too scary, I must go away. And any time that I got close to him, he kind of was like, oh, I'm not having any of this, I'm out of here. Now I have set him in other games to be more aggressive, and he is pretty awesome when he's more aggressive, and he literally just fights, and you know, he's immune to fire damage and things like that. And so, but even if you're not interested in any of that, and you just want a really cool mount to get around on, I mean, look at it, it's beautiful. Like I say, there's lots of mounts out there, some better than others, some really dodgy, some just for the lulz. But this one for me is pwn. Go check it out. If you want to see some more mods, check out my channel, or just subscribe or something like that. And I shall see you next time, people. Goodbye.